PC gaming can be a glorious thing. You either know that yourself or you had 1,000 people yell at you about it on a message board. Either way, for beginners out there, there's probably a lot of misinformation floating around, and we wanted to clear some things up. So we're here with 10 common PC gaming myths that we're going to debunk. Starting off with number 10, there's a common belief that running a keyboard, mouse, or controller through a USB hub increases input lag. You must have complete native connection to have the best, right? Well, while it's still probably the best for peace of mind, the idea that USB hubs increase input lag simply is not the case in most circumstances. Tests have shown that it is absolutely minimal or non-existent. When you press a key on a keyboard connected through a USB hub, your PC still keeps that key press as top priority, as fast as you need. So think about it this way. While avoiding a USB hub doesn't make a difference with input lag, reducing complications means one less potential point of failure you'd have to deal with troubleshooting later on. And that always helps, right? But at number 9, there's that myth that PC gaming is too complicated and not user or consumer friendly at all.
Now basically, the only new principle involved is that instead of power being generated by the relative motion of conductors and fluxes, it's produced by the modial interaction of magnetoreluctance and capacitive diractance.
This is an easy go-to argument against PC gaming, one that even I myself have been guilty of falling back on in the past. Building a PC is expensive and highly technical, requiring good hands, lots of research, and smart spending, right? Well, not quite. Once you really break it down, you can follow a buying guide to get everything you need from a million different resources and websites, and then a basic PC build in 2017 is fairly easy to pull off. Snap a few things here and there, tie up some wires. It's closer to plug and play than it's ever been before, and it only gets easier and easier every year with new innovations. So really, I don't think people should be scared away so easily. If you can troubleshoot your Wi-Fi router or factory reset your phone, some Googling will help you and you'll be fine. But like the same with building PC hardware, Windows is getting better and better. You should go into PC gaming knowing that you will occasionally just have a problem playing a game, but calmly embracing that and accepting it and fixing it quickly with a cool head will absolutely help. It's not all as bad as some people make it sound, really. But at number 8, speaking of building, for builders or first-time builders, there's always been a lot of debate as to how much and what method is really ideal for applying thermal compound to a CPU. Visit any message board and everyone will have an exact method and an exact amount you need to apply. But believe it or not, testing actually shows that any method is fine as long as you don't put so much on it that it gets into the socket, or so little it doesn't cover the die. The method you apply it by doesn't really matter, although using a spudger or a credit card is still advised against. But like with a lot of stuff in building PCs, as long as you're reasonable and don't overdo or half-ass anything, you're gonna be fine. Don't worry. But at number 7, you'll always hear some jerk out there saying, oh, PC gaming is dying, and it's clearly not. This was a much more popular sentiment a few years ago, but you still hear it here and there. And all you really need to do is 5 seconds of Googling. I don't need to give you the numbers, but PC gaming is in the stratosphere right now, from Steam dominating and bringing in millions to esports like with League of Legends and Dota 2 being popular enough to fill stadiums with spectators. Not only that, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds has sold well over 10 million copies, putting it on track to really hit the stratosphere with mega hits like Grand Theft Auto and Skyrim. And it's been breaking records for concurrent online players over 2 million. So despite its caveats, PC gaming isn't going anywhere. But at number 6, you should know that despite what people on Reddit will throw at you to the contrary, there isn't a single defined metric to gauge GPU performance. While most people judge graphics cards by how well they work with frame rates or FPS, in truth, a graphics card's performance includes far more than just the rate at which it renders frames. Speed and quality are also factors worth measuring. There's also CUDA cores, mantle, shadow play, and other optimizations that are just as important that you should factor in. But if you are looking for the best ways to measure, there are a million programs and places like Tom's Hardware that will absolutely have you covered. So don't worry if you buy a shiny new top-of-the-line graphics card and the frame rate on your game isn't quite what you want, because there's so much more to it than that. At number 5, we should acknowledge the myth that is the idea that modding is a bad thing. It's usually console players that will perpetuate this, or people who have just had a bad experience with mods. To some folks, mods disrupt the pure experience intended by the game developers. It can potentially upset a delicate line of code, really perfected by the people that made the game, and kind of just ruin an entire game. While that can be true, I still don't think modding is a bad thing. I know many other people out there are with me. This is way more of a matter of opinion and really what kind of of consumer you are, but think about it. The developers give you an awesome experience, but then you are free to improve it as much as you want to, potentially just complementing, enhancing, and fine-tuning the original experience to make things so much better and tailored to you. Maybe you're disabled and you need to program a controller that is more better for your needs. There's a million different possibilities why modding can actually be good. And also, I mean, consider, especially because most active modding communities act more as praise for the developer, not the opposite. Most modders aren't looking to tear things down, they're looking to prop things up. And I think a lot of it is good-natured and healthy. And for you to have complete freedom with your purchase, I think that's pretty cool. And at number 4, there's a myth that the PC community in general is just a bunch of angry, arrogant jerks. You always hear PC Master Race thrown around so much, it almost sounds exhausting and annoying. Now, while I'll say there are certainly quite a few bad eggs in the PC community, the majority is a crowd of passionate, inclusive, excited gamers. While, get good scrub is a really common phrase, you'll find no better group of people to help you figure out and spec out and build your first PC. Some PC gamers love having a problem to solve and jump at any opportunity to help. It's really refreshing. Since PC gaming often has way more technical problems in general, players are usually always united in trying to find solutions to help the needs of the many. And it's really awesome to see in action. So don't fear the PC community. Embrace it, because it'll probably embrace you. Now at number 3, there's been a myth for a long time that the eye can only see 30 frames per second, be it games, media, whatever. I think it's pretty obvious, but that's not true at all. Once frames get higher into 120, there's room for debate there, but the speed at which nerves process and send information from your eyes to your brain really refutes a lot of that 30 FPS stuff. Not only that, I mean, come on. I don't want to be elitist here at all, but 30 FPS looks drastically different than 60 FPS, and you can absolutely tell the difference.
I knew it.
And I'm someone who can actually tolerate lesser frame rates, but most human eyes can absolutely process and clearly perceive 60 FPS. If eyes couldn't process anything higher than 30, why would, honestly, like a mega corporation like YouTube spend time and money allowing videos to be uploaded in 60 FPS specifically? The old myth stems more from film and how it was much more of a nuanced thing there. See Peter Jackson's different releases of the Hobbit movie, but with games, it's totally an obvious thing. But at number 2, this myth is the concept of near console price console killers. There have been many attempts to make PCs more mainstream, bring them to the living room, and really compete directly one-on-one with consoles, but it just doesn't really seem like a more user-friendly console-focused PC can actually kill off console gaming at all. Every manufacturer has tried, even Steam. Why doesn't it work? It seems like such a slam dunk success. Well, the concept of the console price console killer is really wholly dependent on location and prices in that market. While it may be affordable in some locations to build a PC than to buy a console, in other places it may actually be a better option to buy a console. I've talked to a lot of gameranx fans out there that rely on PC gaming because console support in their specific country sucks. And then there's other people out there that have the complete opposite. So like we said, it's all up to location. It all depends on infrastructure, location, prices, markets throughout the world. So there can never be one complete unified thing. But I think that's kind of the beauty of consumer choice. Now at number 1, let's talk about the myth that PC gaming is too expensive. It's a pretty common belief that's still worthy of a conversation and debate, but it's the biggest thing that you hear of, so we made it our number 1. And really, it's a bit of both ways. Buying a PC can be expensive, but learn to build it yourself and shop for parts strategically, and you can make out with a capable PC for a ballpark $650. Now, that's still more expensive than the average console, but it's still better than buying a pre-built PC, which means you'll likely pay out the ass for something triple the price of like a shiny new PS4. So there's a give and take here, but on the bright side, with a PC you have access to not only more games, but cheaper games. That'll save you some money in the long run. There are so many platforms on PC to buy games, and there are so many frequent sales. A lot of times you can make out better with PC than you would on console. Plus, you can do all sorts of mods, tricks, and even piracy, though we're not condoning it, but it's all stuff you can do. So really, PC gaming can be expensive, but it should have a large asterisk next to it, because if you work smart, your wallet may be safer than you expected. It's really not as bad as you think. But those are some PC gaming myths that we wanted to tackle. If you are playing on PC or you're a fan of PC gaming, we definitely want to hear from you down in the comments if you've experienced any sort of weird myths or weird misconceptions about your hobby. We want to talk about them. Let us know. Maybe we'll make another video. Console fans, maybe we could make some about you guys too. Let's talk about anything gaming down in the comments. We'll be there, but you guys know clicking the like button does help us out a ton, and we really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you should, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.